ำอะไรอยู่ที่ไหน I'm at the coffee shop here, Pacamara. I'm having my dirty coffee. That's what I'm doing. But today, we're going to talk about a few things. We are going to talk about the latest in the world of CANNBIS. I want to see if I don't say the word or write the word all in one. Hey, carnivore. Sawadee Cup. I want to see if YouTube demonetizes the video. As they have done so before, they've done so and said you're talking about things you shouldn't talk about. And I'm like, it's crazy. Anyway, we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about how I met up with two people I haven't seen in years. I just bumped into them, which is kind of what happens in Thailand. We're going to talk about using Thai websites, which is not always easy, and it can cause more problems than anything else. We're going to talk about a popular retirement destination for U.S. expats and how it is become more and more troubled by crime, and we'll see what the truth is about that. And then finally, we are going to talk about, just like I said the other day, we're going to talk about Thailand and how it may be better than some of you think. It may be a better place to live. It may be one of the best places to live. I don't know, is it? Cauliflower? Broccoli? I have no idea. Good morning, Mr. Dowlow. You are second in the stream. But we're going to find out how it stacks up category by category. I have a nice list, and we'll talk about that. So we should be fairly busy today. We have a few things to talk about. I want to have a little bit of my dirty coffee. And like I said, we are in Pacamara, of all places. I didn't feel like going to Cafe Amazon again, and I didn't feel like going to Starbucks, and I didn't feel like traveling out on a Friday morning in traffic, braving the traffic here. I didn't really feel like doing it. So, that's why I'm here in Pacamara. I can get myself a good coffee. They do have good coffee here. It's good, but I wish it was a little colder. It's like the milk is not quite cold enough. I should say something. You know what? Hang on a second. Michael, how you doing? I'm doing good. Hey, 1 second. Okie dokie. Well, that's what they do. They put it in these jars. They, oh, it's so niche. It's so trendy. Michael, how's it going? It's going good here for me. And like I said, we're going to talk about a few things today. But first, like I always say, do me a favor, smash the like button. Hit subscribe. Hit join. Hit super chats. Hit super thanks. Hit buy me a coffee. Hit CASHAPP. Hit Patreon. Hit up Patreon. Some people have forgotten about Patreon. But anyway, all these things help. I'm trying to get myself a camera, a new camera, which right now I'm not able to swing it at the moment, but I'm trying to get that. So every little bit helps. Every little bit goes back into the business. And, you know, if you can't do that, that's fine. Just keep watching. Follow me. Whatever. Check out the videos. Check out the streams. I do have another video going live tonight. And then I think tomorrow night or Sunday night I have another one. And, you know, that should be good. I'm trying to get myself a DJI Osmo 4, which is an action camera. And I'm trying to get the adventure pack, which is about, it's about 500, it's about $600 here, something like that. So, you know, I'm trying to free up a little bit of cash if I can and get that. So, you know, I've been using my iPhone for years now. Thank you very much. And, you know, I think it's getting to the end of the line on the thing. Yeah, that's about all I'll say. It's getting to be where I already replaced the camera. I've replaced a couple things on it. Replaced the battery twice. So, you know, I try to keep my things running and working for a long time. I'm on my MacBook right now, which I've had since 2014. 9 years I've had this bad boy. And I don't really want, it works fine. Everything works good. So I don't want to trade this in. I don't want to get a new one. I don't want to do anything. I don't want to just, oh, I need to upgrade. What do I need to upgrade for? It does everything I want. Let's see, what was I going to talk about? Oh, first of all, we just got to go over the real quick stuff. I don't know why, but the dollar has basically tanked against the Thai baht. Thai baht is 35.15 against the dollar. I mean, just, I don't know, a week or so ago, it was at 36. I like it to be close to 36. I don't want it to be at 35. Air quality, quite good today, 29. 71% humidity, 86 degrees, 75 is the low, and 77 is the feel-like temperature. So that's where we are there. At least the air quality is really, really good right now. Woke up 1:45, drove 450 miles round trip to Houston to renew my passport. Get it back by Tuesday in the mail, $210, counting 1 day mail from Monday, because we stopped raising interest rates, which is good. Well, it's good to hear about your passport because you don't have a whole lot of time left. But it's good you'll be getting that back. Mine is good for another 6 years, 7 years, something like that. You know, this is like my 4th passport. Anyway, let's see what I got on the schedule here. Even the Insta360 is around 500. I would go with DJI. Depends on what you want. I'm going with the, but believe me, Michael, I know that the DJI is slightly better than the GoPro, and I know it is slightly better than the Insta360 for what I want to use it for, which is just shooting video and vlogging and things like that. So, you know, I'm working on it. Do the best I can. And we'll see. We'll see what happens. I don't know what they did here, but to my right, I'm not going to show you guys, but the Swenson's was open. And they had this whole middle area, and it was all for people who wanted ice cream. It was always full. Now it says they're closed, and they're coming soon on November 21st. They just shut it all down. I don't understand why, but this place is slowly but surely coming along. It's still not, it's not one of my favorite places, but I just come here because it's convenient, you know? Let me see here. First thing we're going to talk about. Actually, the first thing that I want to talk about is meeting up with some old friends. and how absolutely dumbfounded I am to run into these guys, because well, let me just tell you, the first guy that I ran into, okay, you know, it's a little more, how can I say, I believe that maybe I'll run into him sometime, but I haven't run into him in about 12 years. He's a guy I used to talk to in boxing. His name is Rico, and he has a gym here in Thailand that I actually was going to put my kids in because it's right near their... He opened a gym up. It's a big gym. It has MMA, it has boxing, it has all these things. Now, it's a little far from the house now because they don't go to school there anymore. But I'm walking along. I'm at the market in Bankabi. I'm walking along, just walking right by the market, and I hear this, Scott. I go, you know, and I look at, like, oh, holy moly. I was looking for him, trying to get my kids signed up at his school. He was never there. He's a busy guy. The guy's, you know, he's a little younger than me. He's probably about 20 years younger than me. But he's a very busy guy. And I didn't know it, but I think he's married to a Thai woman. So I'm like, okay, wow. We stood there and talked, you know, right on the sidewalk there for about 20 minutes. It was interesting to find out everything, and, you know, and I told him about, you know, no, I'm not involved in boxing, and I don't want to be, blah, blah, blah. But really what freaked me out is I'm in the mall yesterday, and I'm walking around, you know, I'm doing my thing. I got a couple errands to run, and I say to myself, you know what, today I'm going to get some bread. I know I shouldn't get bread, but I'm going to get some bread. Kids will like it, or Alex will like it, Bo will like it, get some bread. So I go into the back, I'm at the bread area, and he says, Scott, don't you remember me? And he had a mask on. And I go, no, I don't remember you, and you've got a mask on, how can I tell? And he says, I'm Paul. And I said, oh, Thai Diamond Barbecue. He says, yes. Now, between 35 and 45 years ago, I used to go to this restaurant called Thai Diamond Barbecue. There is one in Diamond Bar, which I went to first because I was training then, all the time. And there was another one in Rancho Cucamonga, which was near where I lived. So I turned a couple of my friends onto it. They got to go there all the time, and we used to go get pad thai and gayang and all these foods. Now, I called him up once, talked to him, and then the phone disconnected. I couldn't get a hold of him again, and I just never got a hold of him. I haven't seen the guy in 35 years. I'm walking through the mall, and he bumps into me. Hey, you remember me? I'm like, holy. So we go over, and we go over, well, you know, the face is still handsome as ever, minus the hair. But so we go over, and we sit down for about 30 minutes, and we just have a chat, and we're talking about what's going on. And he is one of the people that I have been talking about with regards to Thailand and the United States, because he's lived in the United States for I don't know how many years. God, it had to be 30, 40 years he's lived there. So he lives here, and he lives in the U.S., excuse me. And he still lives there. But he had Thai Diamond barbecues all over. He had one in San Francisco. He had another one, I don't remember where he told me, but he had like 5 of them. And he sold them. So now he's like, I'm retired. I don't really have to work anymore. So him and his wife, they're always going back and forth. So anyway, I thought it was really interesting that I'm in the mall Bankabi of all places. And I am not looking to meet anybody. I got my headphones on. I don't want to, I try to just keep to myself. And this guy walks up to me and goes, hey, you remember me? And it's a guy from my life from 35 years ago in the United States. How freaky is that? I mean, I'm still dumbfounded that I saw him and I met him. Hey, how you doing, Steve? U.S. dollar suffering from our debt. This downgraded as a result. The U.S. dollar is starting to equalize to all currencies. Well, I hope it doesn't go under 35. That's what I'm going to say. Yeah, I don't like it when it gets below 35. So let's hope that it doesn't. Now, yeah, I'm still, even to this moment, and this is 2 days in a row. 2 days ago, I ran into this guy who I was involved with in boxing. We had fights, we had shows, we were both at them and that kind of thing. I ran into him, and then yesterday, I ran into the guy. I haven't seen him in, it's had to be 35 years, 32 years, something like that. It's been many, many moons. And I'm just in shock, like, it's like, it's a whole nother life. I had a whole nother life then. So to run into him, and I'm just like flabbergasted. So we exchanged lines, we exchanged phone numbers, all that good stuff. And he happens to he only lives about 2 miles away from me. He told me, I come here like once a week. And I said, well, I come here like almost every day. I come here like 5 days a week. Because I come and buy food, I get fresh food and, that kind of stuff. Sometimes I eat here. He's like, oh, well, we'll have to meet up. So maybe once a week, or every so often, we'll meet up and we'll, be able to talk about, well, he said to me, you're more big. And I didn't want to tell him, but, his gut was bigger. I'm sure he knows that. He weighs more than he did. He was a little skinny. Well, he wasn't little, but he was a skinny guy 35 years ago. Now he's a skinny guy with a beer gut. And, yeah, it was really wild. I'm still in shock. Yeah, I don't even know what what do you say? I'm looking at the girl at Minato right now. Hello. They're already open. All the workers are working already. They're getting everything ready. Let me get my my drink here. Dirty, dirty, dirty. I mean, yeah, but I haven't seen this guy in 35 years, man. It's just, it's a trip to find out what he was doing and, that's much better. He did say that the taxes for his business have been going up, and they've gotten to the point where a lot of Thai people that have restaurants are closing down because they don't want to pay the taxes, because the taxes are too high in California. So, I think that's another reason why he's going out of business. Guava coffee. Does this look like guava? Really? No. Dirty. It's ever so dirty. It's dirty the way I like it. All right, so now, let's talk about that word I can't say on YouTube. And, I was just saying the other day where you haven't heard anything about it lately. Well, now supposedly the rules for approximately 6,000 shops are about to change. They're pounding the ice cream. 35 years, man. And I used to go into this place probably 4 times a week. I'd go in there and get gayang, we'd get some rice, we'd get crop, we'd get, I mean, we got all kinds, we got satay, we got all kinds of stuff. And, you know, we were talking about it, he and I were talking about it, and I said, well, how much were you selling pad thai for when you sold? And he said, well, you know, when I was there, it was around, they had a special, it was like $6.95. He said, now it's $10. He said, and that's in Diamond Bar, Rancho Cucamonga. He said, if you're somewhere like in San Francisco, it's like 20 bucks. It's 15, 20 bucks. If you're in New York, it's $20, $25. Which is, to me, is very shocking, since you can get, and he even said to me, hey, you go over to Happy Land, the food court, you can get it for $1, $1.50. No problem. You know, you can eat for cheap. And that led us to talk about why Thailand is better than the US, and I'm going to get to that in a little bit. But Thailand's new government is seeking to tighten control over the country's industry, we'll say, revising a draft bill to prevent misuse of the plant after previously vowing to curb its recreational use. A new draft of the bill, which failed to clear parliamentary hurdles before an election in May, has been significantly written due to concerns that misuse could lead to addiction. We put health first. Now, the revisions include tighter measures to plug loopholes that allow the use for recreation. They do not want to allow use for recreation only. They want it to only be for medical purposes. Which that's going to hurt. That's going to hurt a lot of people. That's going to hurt. That's going to hurt. Now, what are they going to do? They're going to make it illegal? They're going to start arresting people? I can't see that happening, but let's see here. An ongoing regulatory vacuum following the declassification as a narcotic in June of last year led to a mushrooming of more than 6,000 dispensaries all over the country. They sell everything from buds to extracts containing less than 0.2% THC, the psychoactive compound in the plant. Now they're on this anti-drug campaign, and they're vowing again to classify it as a narcotic. Bumjai Thai Party leader Anutin Charnvirakul has spearheaded the move to decriminalize it, but they're talking about banning the recreational use. The draft will undergo more reviews, and the government will receive stakeholders' feedbacks before finalizing the text next month. So next month, we should learn what's going to happen. Now, we should. That doesn't mean that we will. It may go on and on and on, and they may just stretch it out for a long time, and then they go, don't worry about it. I don't know. I really don't know what they're going to do with this, but they want to make sure that it's for true medical purposes. And that is a bit of a problem for guys like Dowlo. I mean, Dowlo's friend. What am I saying? Now what's happened? I'm locked up here. Dallo's friend. Yeah, well, this is the thing. They're going to make that money somehow. They're going to lose the money if they pass this bill, and then they've got to get that money back somehow. They're not going to just throw away that money. There's got to be some other way where they're going to make the money. Yes, Mr. Dallo will be crying. I mean, Mr. Dallo's friend, sorry. Now, that's all I got to say about this. Whatever happens, happens. There's not much you can do about it because you have no say. You have no say. No, cannot. And, yeah. All right, so now I wanted to talk about something, and that is Thai websites. And there's a reason for this. One reason is because I've been speaking to Bruce about putting his 90-day report in online. Generally, it's very easy. If it doesn't go through on the first day, if there's a problem with the website's down, you just put it in the next day. However, he's had problems twice where he put in his application. Yeah, you're not supposed to in public. No. Only at home. Only behind closed doors. But he's, well, I'm sorry. It's supposedly going to be medical use only. No recreation. That's what they're leaning towards. Now, as far as the website goes, he's been trying to go on and put in his 90-day report. The last time he tried to do it, he never got a response. Why? I don't know. This time he sent it in, he has not got a response. Now, I know he was watching at the very beginning of the stream. I don't know if he's still watching. But the one thing that I said was, when you send it in, make sure it goes through, right? You got to make sure it goes through, and that you get confirmation. Once you get confirmation, you should be okay. But he has not received any response from them. So he's like, oh, I think I'm going to go in. I said, why don't you just mail it in? No, it's too much hassle. Okay, it's too much hassle. Go in. You go in, I said, you need to be able to speak a little bit of Thai. Bring your wife, bring a friend, learn how to speak a little bit of Thai. And, speak to them and say, listen, here's my problem. You need to be able to communicate with them effectively. And they should try to do something. They should try to fix the problem. However, when he went back in, he said something about it in English, and then, it didn't get fixed. So now he's out of luck, and he has to go back in. Now, this is 2 times to go back in for a 90-day report. I don't have these problems. I've never had these problems. And I understand sometimes you have a problem. I did have a problem once where I don't know what happened, but I lost track of the time, and usually I have it written down to where I see it all the time, so I know I have this particular day, I have to communicate with them and start the process. But for some reason, I didn't have it written down, I didn't see it, and I found out, and it was the day before I was supposed to go in. Instead of taking a chance and mailing it, even though you have a 1 week window, on your 90-day report, you have a 1 week window. If they receive it within that 1 week, they're not gonna do anything. They're not going to find me. But I went in. And I hated it. Because it's such a waste of time. It took me 4 hours to go down there, sit in line, wait for them to call my number, and then to come. 4 hours. So to me, that's a waste of time when you can just mail it and you can just go online. Now, the problem with Thai websites, and anybody who goes to Thai websites on a regular basis, now they are getting better, however, Thai websites tend to have many problems. Not as nearly as much as in the past, but they still have problems here and there. You go to a website, you click on, oh, the page is not working. There is no page. Oh, God. You know, you should be able to grow your own. I don't think it's all that big of a deal. But for some of you, it may be. Anyway, if you go to Thai websites, I don't care what the page. It could be CASHAPP Bank. It could be True Internet. It could be, whatever. Some website, generally, there will be, most of the time, there will be some pages or a page that doesn't work. You click on it, you get a blank page, or you get, cannot connect or something like that. And it used to be really bad. I'm talking about 5 years ago, 10 years ago. Oh my God, it's like every freaking website that you went to, there were problems with it. And it got to the point where you're like, ugh, even immigration. Many times you go to immigration, up, page is down. Why is the page down? Because they don't have it on a server that's big enough that can handle all the people that go to it. Now, why they don't think about that, I don't know. Now, maybe they're starting to, maybe they're learning and they're, figuring all that out. I don't know. But this is a problem. And so, one thing that I told Bruce is he changed his passport. Now, if you change your passport, you've got one number on that passport. When you get a new passport, you're going to have another number. If you're trying to file it in their system, generally the first time when you go in with the new passport, now you've already transferred your visa, done all that stuff. When you go into immigration with your new passport, they will make note that you have a new passport, and they will make sure that the new number is the one that applies. So, if for whatever reason they didn't get that new passport number, he didn't tell them about it, they didn't find out, whatever it is, that could be the source of the problem. That could be the problem. In the meantime, he's got to go down there again. All right, let's say it's not 4 hours, it might be 3 hours. You go down there, it's 45 minutes to get there, an hour to get there, 45 minutes, an hour to get back. And then you're going to spend, probably 45 minutes to an hour sitting there and walking around. No, they don't give you the same number on your passport. You don't have the same number. You have a different number. So when you go into, like, a bank, you have to tell the bank, hey, I have a new passport. And then they will change it for you. They'll change it in their system. Just like you have a new address, you have to go in, you have to tell them, you have to give them the new address, and sometimes they do it right. Some of the places are really good. They do it right at that second, and it's done. And some places are like, can you put it on this form and send it into the headquarters? It's like, what is the deal, man? Dr. Evil Immigration Consultant. Yeah, Dr. Evil. $1 million. So, that's what I mean. It could be the browser you're sending it from. Sometimes you can't log in with a certain browser because they don't have it set up for all of the different browsers. Sometimes you send something in, it says it went through, and it really didn't go through. So, but if you get a confirmation from them, then I would think that you've done your part. Now, that's not really how it works. But if you get confirmation, if you look in the system and you can constantly find that they received your paperwork, then it's on them to get it back to you. So what you need to do is take a screenshot and say, hey, I sent it to you. I haven't got anything back. But, trying to stay on top of things, Bruce has called them up. He's tried to ask them all kinds of questions. To me, I'm like, listen, take a screenshot. Do whatever you got to do. It's not on you. It's on them. If they say anything, you go, I'm waiting for you. I don't know how long it's going to take you. And I can tell you that one time, I didn't get a response back after like 3 days. And so I called them up. That was my first inclination. Call them up and see what's up. I talked to somebody and he said, no problem, we're busy. I said, okay. I got confirmation, plus I talked to this guy, got his name, and it's on them. Yeah, this is what I mean. It's like the DMV. And sometimes you have to wait. And sometimes, like what I was saying to Bruce, is sometimes you need to get to the bottom of it. You need to solve it, and you need to stay on them, hold their hand, and say, what's going on? Well, I can tell you the last time that I had to go to the DMV was about 5 years ago, 6, something like that. And I was going because I wanted to get an ID card, a state-issued identification card. And I went to AAA. Didn't go to DMV. Went to AAA. Well, this is another issue, and that's all I'm gonna say. This is Thailand. This is not somewhere where they follow everything by the book, step by step. You want things done. You could get an agent to do it for $500 if you wanted to. An agent will do it for $500. It's nothing. Yeah, I got my ID card from AAA, and it was nothing. It took me, like 15 minutes, 30 minutes. The other thing is, you should not discount mailing it in. It's not a big deal. All you do is you get a couple copies of your passport, you get a copy of the front page, you get a copy of the visa, you get the paper that you have to fill out and sign in. I forget the number on it, TM, whatever it is. You fill that out. You send them a self-addressed stamp with it. You find out how much it costs for them to send a letter back with a stamp. I don't know how much it is right now. It might be 20 baht, 25 baht. You get a stamp, you get an envelope, put it on there, self-address it, and you send everything registered so that somebody has to sign for it, that there's proof that they got the application. And that should save you from having to go in and waste your time. To me, it's a huge waste. Going to immigration is something you don't want to do. I was talking to another guy. I think he's supposed to go tomorrow. You only want to, he's like, oh, maybe I should ask him about this. Maybe I should ask him about that. I go, ah. You know what you do when you go to immigration? You speak when they speak to you. Otherwise, you sit there. Cop, 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 cop. That's what you do. Yes, yes, oh, okay, oh, yes, sir, okay, whatever you say. My cup. My chop cup. Chop cup. You say as little as you have to, and that's it. Wow, I think it's 250 baht here. I had it done not that long ago. I think it was 250 baht. Used to be like 150, now it's 250. It was good and dirty. I mean, you know, just about any kind of copy shop, Photoshop, that they'll do it for you. And I don't have my passport with me, but in my passport, I have a leather wallet, and in that I have about 3 different passport photos. There's about 5 of each of them. Oh, this one doesn't work. Oh, here's this one. This one. Oh, here's this one. Because every once in a while I get it done, just because I want to look clean. I want something new, whatever. I get it done, and that's the way you do it. And generally, it's very, very simple. When you, but you know, going into immigration for a 90-day report, never understood it. Never. Big waste of time. Oh, well, I don't really have anything else to do, so I'll just go in. No, you got plenty of other things to do. Mail it. It'll take you 15 minutes. It was held up a demo running in Parnell. I made a phone call, license received in 48 hours. Well, that's how it's done, you know. And let's see here. So this is about websites. His particular incident, because it could be anything. I mean, honestly, it could just be that for some reason they're not receiving it. For some reason they're receiving it, not processing it. Maybe he's jumping on them a little too fast, and it might take him 2 or 3 weeks to get it back to him. I don't know. I don't know what the answer is. However, what I will say is that you don't want to be going in if you don't have to. Wow, that's a lot. That's a lot. I don't know. I think U.S. passports are, I think they're $110, which to me is a lot when it used to be like $50. Yeah, it's for 10 years with the U.S. also. Yeah, so these are kind of the things that, you know, what I was saying to Bruce yesterday. He was telling me about some of the things that are going on, and I'm like, man, you know, these are some of the problems that it may take some time for you to get rid of these problems and figure things out, or it may take time for technology to catch up. Like with banks, if you remember, I used to gripe about my blocking my card, and I would go, it depended on when I would go in. But sometimes I would go on like a weekend, and it'd be 10 o'clock at night. And I'd go to take money out and would say, we're sorry, you need to call your bank. And I'd be like, call my bank's not open. Well, then they started opening up. And I started saying to them, put my address, put a note that says he lives in Thailand, but he is a U.S. citizen. Do not lock his account. Oh, well, we can't do that. So I used to call them up and say, okay, for 6 months, I'll be abroad, because they allowed you to do that. And they didn't lock the card. But then after about 6 months, they would lock the card. So that took me about 2 years to get through. It took me about 2 years. And finally, they've worked it out. So now, I mean, I can't remember. I'm trying to think of when I called my bank up. Well, I guess it was in the U.S. Now, this gives you an idea. Called my bank up in the U.S. I said, I need a new card. The guy says, oh, I'll give you a temporary card right now, and we'll put in for your card. I said, okay, it's done. Never got the card, never got charged the $95 a year for the card. Now I don't have a card, and I just send everything to Wise. Now I have another bank account, Capital One. I have a card, and it expires at the end of this month. Call up the parents. Hey, have you got my card yet? Nope. Let me know if it comes in by the end of the month. It should be there. Because sometimes you just don't get it. I don't know what the problem is. It seems to me that the U.S. mail doesn't work very well. I'm not slamming the post office, but for as expensive as things are, it costs like $90 to send a little card, like an ATM card. It costs like $90 to send it here. From here, it costs about $15. That's like EMS. Why there's such a discrepancy in the price, I don't know. But there is. It's kind of crazy. And the thing is that many times I order something and I get it here, no problem. It's from a U.S. company or something like that. But whenever it's from a bank, I always have issues. And usually I would have it sent to my parents, but I got tired of my parents telling me, yeah, we're going to send you this card. It's $100 to send it to you. I don't want them to have to pay $100. Send it snail mail. I'll get it in a month. You know. Anyway. That's the way it goes. Now, we're going to get to some of these problems in a few minutes. But this is one of the problems in the United States now. I don't know what their holdup is. I don't know what's going on. If you can send it to me by next Friday, I'll take it. Well, I wish I could, but I think they've already sent it, supposedly. I'll try and find out, but I think they already sent it. But thank you. Now, you know, I don't like to slam a country for what's going on there, and I'm certainly not trying to slam Ecuador, of all places, because I really do like Ecuador. However, what I will say is, thank you very much, 2 quarters Korean, is that Ecuador has some problems, and I've been hearing about them more and more. Where I was with my friend in that town, it was very quiet, very peaceful. I think he said they had had one crime in like 5 years there, and that was it. And they put in some video cameras in the neighborhood to stop it, and they haven't had any crime since. Now, that town is pretty slow. There's a beach there, which is very nice. It's pretty peaceful. But when I was in Guayaquil, which is where we flew into, from Guayaquil we took a taxi, or we took a bus. We took a bus to Ayampe. And then on the way back, we went the long way. But what I would say is, when I was in Guayaquil, there was a bit of an edge to the city. And by edge, I mean like edge of a knife. Like, I felt like if you started any problems, somebody might pull a knife on you. It might be a little bit dangerous. I just had that kind of feeling. Now, maybe it was because we came in, it was late at night. You know, I got the kids with me, and we're like checking into some hotel that, you know, wasn't a 5-star hotel. Maybe that was it. However, now, cocaine dealers have began to use, and this has been going on for the past couple of years, but it's getting worse. They're trying to fix it. They're using it as a transit country to bring in drugs. Let's see here. And the U.S. State Department is issuing alarm bells as well. The entire country gets a level 2 warning. Exercise increased caution. Now, if you ever look at what the State Department, what the U.S. Embassy, what kind of emails, what kind of cautionary things they send out to people, generally, these cautions are against, you know, like you got a family and they're going in, "Hi, how are you? Hola, 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 amigos." And then people are like, yeah, the State Department tends to err on the side of caution. Now, 4 areas in Ecuador have a level 4 warning, do not travel warnings. Government personnel are limited in their ability to provide emergency services to U.S. citizens there. 5 other spots get level 3. Reconsider travel. Transnational criminal groups and local gangs have sporadically engaged in violent criminal activity in these areas, with violence increasing in recent months. To be sure, in many places, especially away from cocaine transporting Pacific Coast ports, people aren't trading beach umbrellas for bulletproof vests. Some people, like those who live in Cuenca, they're looking for different locations, but they're saying people are out all the time, every morning doing their thing. I walk to yoga, we both walk to the gym, it's just daily life for us. Well, what I will say about that, I hate to dampen the mood. However, what I say is everything is great until it's not. And what that means, usually things kick off very, very quickly. You could be in a neighborhood, it's great. Some guy drives down the street, he's driving after a guy on a motorcycle, he's shooting his machine gun at him, boom. Next thing you know, there's 3 civilians dead on the side of the road. And that happens all the time. So, yes, I understand they're only talking about certain areas, and it's not quite as bad as what they say. And, you know, I talked to my friend about this, and he's like, listen, they're trying to clean it up, they're trying to, you know, make it better. But you do have to be cautious about this. I don't have to worry about that here. Even guys on Yaba, it's not like I see them all the time. I don't hang out in these areas. If I see somebody on Yaba, I don't even know they're on Yaba. I don't have to worry about walking outside and getting shot in the head. If I did, it would be an anomaly. So, let's see here. Kathleen Petticord, publisher of Live and Invest Overseas, says Ecuador has historically been a very quiet, peaceful country, really, and that's definitely not completely the case right now, but I would not say that Ecuador is unsafe. I think that would be painting the whole thing with way too broad a brush. That's what I think. Ecuador's safety problems are localized and temporary. The frightening life in certain parts of Ecuador offers a cautionary tale to Americans considering retirement abroad. It also shows the importance of researching a country and particular locations within it, relocating. If choosing where to retire abroad merely based on best places to retire list is the only research you can do, shouldn't be going anywhere. Well, that's true. What I always say is nothing beats on the ground information. If you have a chance to come and spend 2 or 3, 5 times in one country, and then you get to like it, and then you get to see what it's like, that's much better than hearing from Scott Mallon. I'm sorry, localized knowledge or not, it's much better than hearing, oh yeah, it's safe here, don't worry. It's much better if you come here, you get the feel for yourself. Don't be ignorant. Many prospective expats, like Americans, generally are unaware of goings-on in nations overseas. If you're moving abroad, don't be one of those Americans. Don't be stupid. I think most people in the U.S. don't make it their business to find out a whole lot about other countries. Crime isn't even one of the 10 most important factors for Americans when choosing where to retire, according to a recent survey by financial services firm Empower. If a couple told her they were thinking of retiring in Ecuador now, she says, I would ask them, where are you thinking of living? And if they immediately said, we really like the coast, I would say, well, you need to narrow down where on the coast you might want to live. We could suggest to you places you might not want to live. Well, and that's exactly what I would say. I hate to say this, but I would not live in Pattaya, right in the center of Pattaya. I know people can do it, you can get away with it. I know Pattaya Bob lives there, and he's fine. I wouldn't do it. For me. Well, main reason is because there's too many tourists. I would live on the outskirts. I wouldn't live in the heart of Chiang Mai. I'd live out. We were talking about this yesterday, me and my friend Paul, the Thai guy, wouldn't live in Koh Samui. I wouldn't live there. Wouldn't live there at all. Too many tourists and too many kind of mafia type guys. I just wouldn't want to deal with it. Hua Hin is, no. The Hua Hin from 20, 30, 40 years ago is much, much better than now. And like I said, and I've been saying for quite some time, Hua Hin has got a lot of traffic, and it's a much different place than it was, say, 25 years ago. Prachuap is a better place. Sha'am is a better place. Yeah, you could live in Hua Hin simply because you could live, it's spread out. You could find a place to live. I wouldn't want to live there. I'd rather live in Prachuap or Cha'am or Chumpon or something like that. Just because I don't want to be, I want to be somebody who is the small fish, what is it? The small fish, the big fish in the small pond. Something like that. Yeah. Something like that. I don't want to be, I just don't want to be one of many tourists, one of many people. I don't want to be that. Why should I be? I mean, honestly. Why should I live amongst, 50% tourists? Now that I talk about tourists. There they go. Everybody's coming in now. What's today? Friday. Well, that's what I like. There's only a handful of you. You come to the mall, there's not all that many foreigners. But if you go to a place and you're surrounded by foreigners and then you're surrounded by Thais, I don't know. You know, what's good for me is not good for everybody else, but what I say is that's the reason why I don't live in some of these places. And yeah, obviously I live here and I've lived in some tourist areas. And what I would say is living in an area, whether it's a village or whatever it is, and there's not many foreigners in the village is a good thing. Why would you postpone it? You're gonna postpone it again. I mean, how many times are you gonna postpone it? Because of smog? I mean, I don't get it. Oh, Jesus Christ. So many beautiful women in Bangkok. There's beautiful women all over the world. Go to Argentina. Go to Brazil. Go to Vietnam. Oh, that's good. I'm glad. Well, there is the burning season in the north, but I don't know if they've cut that down a little bit or not. Let me see something. Oops. Yeah, the burning season is mid-January to mid-April. And you know, the smog can come in at any time, so that's, I mean, like today. Okay. We are back, I think. There are some beautiful women here too, mostly nasty though. As nasty as you get them to be. You know, to me the best thing is you find a woman who is a sweetheart, she's very nice, everybody likes her, and then when you go behind closed doors, she doesn't have any inhibitions. They're not interested in balding old men with back problems. I don't know. Haven't talked to her. Listen, here we are. An hour into the stream, I got no super chats, no super thanks, no thumbs up. I got what, 17 thumbs up? That's it? You got 27 people watching right now. I've had 35 watching earlier. I got 17 thumbs up, that's it. People don't click the thumbs up. Please remember to, you know, I understand you don't want to donate money. I understand all that. But, you know, at least click the thumbs up, subscribe, join, whatever. Smashing the like button is not that difficult. Watching, communicating is not that difficult. I qualify as the same. You have gotten to the point where I don't even, when you say something, I don't even think about it anymore. I don't believe it. Yeah, I don't believe it. Hey, thank you, Dallo. You are the first of the day. Woo! Thank you so much. Oh, thank you. I love it. Well, $2 is $2. That's how many percent? 0.3%. That'll help. I don't know, Dallo. Give me a few more years. Yeah, when it comes to Gennaro and what he says, first, Gennaro, You know, I hate to say this, but you still have to get over here. I've never seen you come here. You've never even come here. You're not even in Thailand. You haven't come to Thailand. You haven't visited. You haven't done anything. So to me, it means nothing. Everything is all talk. I want to see some action, Jackson. Well, I could, I could quickly rearrange that if you like. I don't know why they're doing this. Yeah. I've been working. Just wait. I'll come. I've heard that from a lot of guys. Carl Pilkington? Is that his real name? All right, listen. We gotta talk about Thailand. The pros and cons. Good things and bad things versus, say, other countries. Now, obviously, one thing is the cost of living. Generally, the cost of living here is a little bit lower than most Western countries. Accommodation, food, transport, most are more affordable. And of course, if you're getting US dollars, British pounds, Aussie dollars, that means you enjoy a comfortable lifestyle. You should be able to. Now, the other thing, we don't talk about this all that much, but there is a cultural richness in Thailand. The beautiful temples and vibrant festivals. And, somewhat attractive ladies for you men out there, like Gennaro. And living here provides an opportunity to immerse yourself in a unique and diverse culture. It's much different. It's very exotic compared to, say, the US or, Great Britain, Australia, Sweden, Norway, wherever it may be. It's quite a bit different. There's beautiful scenery here. There's beaches, there's mountains, there's jungles, there's cities. Plenty of national parks. And plenty of historical sites. And you can get around. Now, that's the other thing, getting around. The transportation here, it's affordable, it's convenient, it's plentiful. You can take trains and see the whole country, pretty much. And everything is connected. That's what's beautiful about it. Can you say that about the United States? Is everything connected? No, you gotta fly or you gotta drive. That's the way it goes. You've gotta have a car. For the most part. Here, you don't have to. You don't absolutely have to have a car. Now, I will say this. I had thought about going to Prachuap yesterday and walking across the country today. So I gave Jim a little jingle, sent him a message, and he jumped on it. Oh, yeah, we should go. Well, because of something my wife said, because of something that she and I were thinking of, I'm not able to go. I could go. I don't want any problems. She's been working a lot. She's got the weekend off. That's what I'll say. So maybe next weekend we may go. Now, is it nice to have transportation? Yeah, it's nice. However, it's nice to be able to sit there and ride and talk to somebody, and you get to do it privately. However, it's okay to take a little minivan. That's okay too. It doesn't really bother me. So there's plenty of ways that you can get around here. And there's plenty of ways that you can travel long distances. If you want to fly, you can fly, and the prices are pretty reasonable. So I like all these things. Okay? Of course, the local people tend to be very friendly. They tend to be very nice. And then, of course, you cannot forget the food. The food here is fantastic. And, you know, the good thing about the food is if you want spicy street food, you want fresh and exotic fruits, you want international dishes, or you want a cheeseburger, whatever it might be, Thailand has it all. And you can get it whenever you want. If you want to go outside and get some food at, 11 o'clock at night, 2 o'clock in the morning, you can do it. Tell me that about places in America. Most of the time you're, 20 minutes away by car in some areas. So food is a big thing. The climate here doesn't get cold. It's not cold where you're going to freeze to death, which is a huge plus. And then finally, the healthcare system here. It's very, very good. My mother has some health issues and needs my assistance. Okay. You can't leave, Mom. You get a pass on that one. Okay. So the healthcare system. Healthcare systems, sometimes the quality is hit or miss, but most of the places in big cities are pretty good. And, if you've got insurance, you should be fine. Now, some of the cons. Even very basic Thai, they don't want to learn it. And they don't learn it, and then they can't communicate. So if they run into somebody and they've got to be able to speak Thai, they can't. At immigration or wherever else it is. If you've got to be able to speak, 10 sentences, then, you got to learn it. If you live here, you need to learn the language. The pollution here, I've already talked about pollution is a big problem here. Air pollution, water pollution, plastic pollution, noise pollution, soil contamination, the biodiversity, the impact on biodiversity, and the health impacts on people. Those are some of the problems with pollution. The work opportunities are not really great here. Of course, in the United States, you've got a host of opportunities, so I give the United States the nod on that one. Cultural adjustment. Adapting to a new culture can be challenging. Certain customs and social norms may be different from what expats are used to, leading to cultural misunderstandings. Yes, leading to misunderstandings, I understand that, and I agree. However, you need to suck it up, Buttercup. If you're going to move over here, you got to be prepared for cultural adjustments. You really do need to prepare for it. Because if you don't, then, it's going to be, I've been here for a long time, so maybe I forget, but it will be more problems than you want to deal with. So you really need to learn some of the language, learn how things are done here, learn how you speak to Thai people, learn, it's not all that difficult. And, things should work out for you. But if you just come here, I'm going to do it my way. I want it done the American way. Why can't they do it this way? I like it that way. Well, they don't do it that way, in England. Why can't they do it this way here? Then you might as well not be here. Bureaucracy is a problem here. visas and work permits. They can be time-consuming and frustrating. Oh, Jesus. I don't think he's been going all that much. He hasn't been playing as much. The last time I talked to him, he said he hasn't been playing as much. But I do think he's going to the driving range, but I know he's not playing on a course quite as much as he was in the past. Traffic, I've already talked about this. Congestion can be a significant issue. Some areas may lack the level of infrastructure that expats are accustomed to in their home country. Yeah, but when you figure it out, it's not very difficult. Well, you guys can go do that. Scotty don't play golf. Scotty don't want to play golf. I'll leave that to you guys. I'll be laying out at the swimming pool. You guys provide the you guys pay me or provide the beer, and I'm the caddy. I'm your caddy shack. Another thing that people don't always talk about here, but that is the education system. As much as I don't want to give the U.S. the nod in this department, I do give it to them. The education system in Thailand needs revamping. It faces challenges such as rote memorization-based learning, heavy emphasis on examinations like multiple choice, and limited focus on critical thinking skills. That's the big one. The system's rigidity can stifle creativity and hinder students from developing problem-solving abilities. Disparities in educational resources and opportunities between urban and rural areas further contribute to inequalities in the learning experience. Additionally, the dominance of standardized testing may not fully reflect students' practical skills and real-world readiness. Yeah, it's all about money. You know, the education system, it is what it is here. I'm not going to beat a dead horse, but I still think Thailand has the edge to the U.S. and to many other places. I don't know what these girls are over here giggling about. The barista, they're just having a fantastic time. Yeah, I mean, I don't know, because I haven't been there in so long, but I just think that Thailand has the edge. And the financial aspect, let's see here, where did I put that? That's not even in here. I didn't even put it in here. Shows you where I am. I still think, for the most part, banks are as good as they are in the United States. And things like payment services here are much better than in the United States. There is none of this hesitance to jump on board. Everywhere you go here now, people, they scan to make their payment. If you want to get a coffee, scan. You want to get some scan. You want to pay the taxes, scan. You can get by with almost no cash. I mean, I got, this is what I got, 120 baht. Now, 20 baht is to get home. 100 baht, I'll change the 100 baht, and that'll be to get back and forth to go to yoga, to get around or whatever, so that I don't have to pay with a scan to the motorcycle driver or a taxi. But you can do it. Well, I've said that everybody who is going to live here needs to have, even part-time, you need to have a bank account. 2/4 Korean, I highly recommend you get yourself a bank account here, and that you link it up with your line account. Even though I know you're like, oh, I really don't want that, I don't need it, but you know what? It will make things much easier. You can pay for your electric, you can pay for your water, you can pay for your phone, but you can pay for everything with. That's not going to have anything to do with you. It's already been mapped out. A financial collapse in the next 1 or 2 years will be the end of online personal and financial anonymity via digital controlled currencies. Yeah, it might be. You might be right. I don't know. That's why I don't get too deep into it. But this tax thing that they're talking about, that's not going to affect you at all. You're not earning those kind of dollars that you're going to need to worry about it. The internet will be nuked. You will have to comply to have access under the guise of national security. Well, I don't live in America, and you know what they can do? I'm going to bend over so they can kiss the ring. I pay electricity, water, and internet via the app. Yeah. I do that as well, and I use it to pay my SkyTrain. Nobody gives a shit about golf. Fucking golf. Jesus Christ. I pay for water and electric downstairs at the jurist's office. You can do it however you want, I'm just telling you. My wife used to say the same thing. Oh, why do I have to be online? I go, because every time you want to go pay a bill, you got to go into the shop. You got to go walk all the way to the mall. Go to the mall, do whatever you're going to do. Then you got to walk into the bank, sit and wait, waste your time, and then you make the payment. And why? You already have online banking. Pay it online. I mean, really. You know, when I go on the SkyTrain, I never have to worry. I put money on my line account. I never have to worry about it. The money's just there. 1,000 baht on, 500 baht on, whatever. Then you go, you ride around, you don't have to worry about it. You see yourself getting a little low, you top it up. That's what I mean. You need small cash, that's it. And even that you don't really need unless you're going to do things like, you say, ride the bus. And even some buses, even some methods of transportation now, like I know moto drivers, they have the QR code, they'll have it laminated, and they'll have it in the front so they can just grab it, give it to you. They have it on the back of their helmet. They have it in the front part of the motorcycle, in their basket or something like that. They'll have like a big thing like this. It makes it's much easier. And you know, the thing is, yeah, I don't know how it is in bars. If you can play, I would say you can probably pay with a scan in a bar. But you know, think about it this way. I'm 61. If I live to be 75, okay, that's decent. It's not 80, but we'll say I live to be 75. I got 14 years for them to change everything and screw my life up. I'm gonna bank. There's not enough time. I will die before all this stuff starts to happen. It won't matter to me. What about the pay to leave money? You go, do you have your bank account number, honey? Yes. Okay, on. I'll transfer a little bit of cash to you. I'd rather pay cash with most everything. Only hotel reservations and flights. Yeah, I mean, like I said, you can pay cash, but like I know here, you go to any of these restaurants here, you can't pay with cash. If you're not going to scan something, you have to go over and get a card. You take the card, go pay for your food, then come back, and if you've got change coming to you, you get the change. You go to the market. Every vendor has a scan code sitting there in their vegetables, in their fruit, in their meat. Rarely do I use my credit card anymore. Rarely do I use my American Express. Rarely do I use debit cards. I'm going to get rid of another one. I've got Siam Commercial, Bangkok Bank, and I got Thai Military Bank. I think I'm going to get rid of Thai Military Bank. You know, why do I have to? Every little bit I'm paying adds up. I've already done away with three banks that had my card. They were charging me $200-300 a year. So, you know, yeah, all right, it's not that much, but in 5 years' time, it's almost 5,000 baht. You know, I'm saving a little bit of money. I mean, you know, well, go into a bank to open your account. What I'll say is this: when you get an apartment and you're set there, that's your place. Then what you want to do is you want to go to the embassy and you pay like $50. They'll notarize a paper and it'll say, and you know, you may not have to do this depending on the bank you go to, depending on where you go and where you're going to live. They just notarize that that's your address and that you live in Thailand. You go to the bank, you show them that paper, you fill out whatever they want, you put a little bit of money in the bank, done. Absolutely done. Oh my God. It's not safe in Thailand to use a card. It's safer here than it is in America. Seriously. Thailand's gone from here to here. I always let my local bank know where we're going. Well, that's in the U.S. Really, the only reason for a U.S. bank account if you live here is if you have money going to the U.S. bank account, then you're going to put it in the TransferWise. Yeah, I generally you're not going to have any problems, even in Pattaya. The only reason you would have a problem is if you put it into an ATM or something. They got one of those card readers, or you go somewhere and for some reason the staff is not on the level and they're cheating people, and they're gone after a couple of weeks, maybe a month or two. But other than that, you're not going to have any problems. Thailand is not America. You can go out, you can park your motorbike in the back of the mall, put the helmet on the mirror, don't lock it up, don't lock your bike up. You come in here, when you go out, it's still there. You put your backpack on there, nobody's touching it. Now, I don't suggest you do that on a regular basis, but generally you won't have any problems. Well, that's good. You don't have to tell your bank. You shouldn't have to. What I always like is you know, they want to know your address. They're not sending me my any statements anymore. It's all done online. And you know, okay, you want an address because you want to know where I live. Well, I give you my parents' address. That's okay. Now, my okay? They tried to tell me at my old bank, this a couple of years ago, they tried to give me a hard time because I didn't live in the country full time. And I was like, no, I'm an American citizen. If you don't want me to bank with you, then tell me right now and I'll leave. Those alerts are on your mobile banking apps. What alerts? You can do it through an app. I don't know. You can do a lot of things through apps. A phone is, I don't want to call it mandatory, but it does help. Sometimes it really helps to have a phone. I'll tell you what, Siam Commercial Bank. You used to be able to go online, scbeasy.net or .com, and you logged in and you did your business, whatever. Now they don't have an online presence. They have an app, and that's it. Yeah, you don't have to do that anymore on both of my banks. That's what 2/4 Korean was saying. Some banks you do. Well, I'm glad you finally realized that, 2/4 Korean. I'm glad you realized that smartphone is mandatory. You know, even if you don't use it much. I mean, you know, I can't remember. The only people I call on my phone really now, I call my wife, I call my kids a little bit. Once in a while, I'll call somebody, they want to meet me or something like that. We got to meet up and we got to, you know, get it squared where we're going to be. Or, oh yeah, I'm over here to the left. You turn around. Oh, okay. That's about it. That's about the only time. In fact, last year, was it last year? I'm trying to think. What bank doesn't need you to tell them you're out of the country? My bank. Truist. Capital One. Don't need to tell them anything. Not anymore. You just use your card and that's it. They figure you're out, you're out. If you got a problem, you'll tell them. Let me see. Let me see something here. Hang on. You're with Wells Fargo. 3 years ago, they told me I don't need to notify them anymore, and I haven't. That's what I mean. You don't always have to. All right, listen. Let me look and see that my phone is charging because I got my charger on it right now. So hang on 1 second. I have Capital One, and there's no problem with Capital One. They used to have a thing that said, I'm going to be in these countries in the next 6 months, and you typed it all in. They don't do that anymore. Truist, which is Truist, they don't do it either. Obviously, 2/4 Korean saying Wells Fargo, and interestingly enough, I think Bruce has Wells Fargo, and he said he was having some problems with them. I don't know exactly the whole scope of it or anything like that, but what I would say is, what you do is you pick 2 banks before you come over here. You got to have 2 bank accounts, 2 different bank accounts. So Wells Fargo, Truist, Capital One, whatever. You use one as your main account, and you use one as your backup. If they work for you, then stick with them. When they stop working for you, get another bank if you can. Sign up with another bank. Use the backup while you... I could use them also. And I don't really want to, because what do I need it for? I was going to add Charles Schwab, and I went, what do I need it for? If I really need it, when I come back, I'll open one up. And when I was back the last time, I thought, oh, maybe I should go in and give them the paperwork, because I already opened an account. Yes, I use Wise. And with my Wise, what I do is I have payments sent to me from various places, and instead of having it sent to my bank account in the US, now what I do is I have it sent directly to Wise, like Patreon. The money goes directly to Wise, like Google, directly to Wise. I don't have to go through a bank and transfer it from the bank. I don't have to do any of that. It goes directly to Wise. They give you your US account information, you put it in, boom. All the money goes in, and it's very, very simple. I don't need a brokerage account. Not now. I don't need one right now. In a few years, I will. When I have a little more money. But right now, I don't really need one. Which is why I don't have Schwab. And to be completely honest, I don't really need that. I don't need Schwab. I don't pay any fees with Truist. If I do pay fees with Capital One, well, now I don't make any withdrawals from the ATM. I never use the card. I don't even need the card. They don't charge me for the card. So really, if I needed to make a withdrawal, like once a year or something like that, I'm going to take out $500, $1,000. It's going to cost me, $3 or $7, whatever it costs. And I'll pay it one time. But I don't use it very often now, because most of the time I'm using Wise. So, much easier. In fact, I don't know at this point that I would want to change banks. I don't know that I would want to change my banks. I've had my banks for years, and they've been very good, with the exception of Truist many years ago, say 5 years ago, where I would say, why do you keep locking my card when I make a withdrawal? Because every third or fourth time they'd make me pay. They'd be like, you can't use it, and I'd be like, oh. So I'd have to call them up and, oh, we're sorry, we're closed now. So I have to wait for them to open, then I could get them to open up, and sometimes I needed the money. I didn't have any cash, and I was like, I gotta take out $1,000. What's going on here? So. Anyway, so the banks is it's something you got to get squared away before you even think about coming over here. You need to make sure that you've got it all nailed down. Like, don't think you're going to transfer money. Oh yeah, I'm going to transfer my money, and I can just do a transfer online, and then you go online, and they don't have a way to do it online. You have to send papers in, and you have to be there and sign it. I don't know that they still do that now, but maybe you open up a Wise account or Revolut. Revolut is another one similar to Wise, and I think they allow U.S. transfers now. Yeah, I don't know about B of A. I had B of A many, many years ago, and I didn't really like them, to be honest. And I think I went to Wells Fargo. I went from them to Wells Fargo. And then from them, I went to, what was it called? NetBank. From NetBank, it was SunTrust. From SunTrust, it was taken over by Truist. So, you know. And I've been with that bank for years now. It's probably been 20 years. Really, I've been with NetBank for about 30 years. NetBank was 30 years ago, then it got bought out by SunTrust, then it got bought out by Truist. So I've been with that bank for about 30 years. Well, the debit card, I guess, is a good thing. I don't have the debit card because my account is a Thai account. Now, I've been thinking about calling them up and just talking to them about what's going to happen if I change my address and I get a card. I think there are some fees attached with the card. I don't want any fees, so I don't know that I'm going to want the card. I don't mean like a monthly fee, but I mean like when you take money out, I think you have to pay. So I'm not too sure about whether I really want to do that, or I'll just leave it the way that it is. It's fine the way it is right now. You know, it works for me. And this is what I mean. Localized knowledge. And knowledge about how to get things done internationally. After a little while, you get through some of these problems. And then you start to figure out, well, how do I need to go about doing this? And you start, after a while, it just works. Things just work. So, you know, you figure out one problem with the bank. Shit, I gotta get this, let me get this thing working here. Now it's working. You know, you figure something out, you get it worked out, and hopefully it takes, and you don't have to fix it again. Or if you have to fix it, you might have to fix it 8 years down the line, 10 years down the line, something like that. If you can't fix it, you find another option. But with a lot of things now, I'm square. I don't have to worry about anything. I want to call overseas, I want to call somewhere, very simple. I can do it for free, or I can do it for next to nothing. I don't know what the transfer fees are, but I don't think that it's $4. I think it depends on how much you're taking out and where. Because Thai banks charge you money. And it's about $7 or so. It's not dirt cheap. But, you know, the point that I'm getting at is, let's say you come here and you got 25 problems, and you fix 5 problems right away. And then slowly but surely, you start picking away at all the problems and fixing them. And then, you know, after a couple of years, you're like, okay, I got like 3 or 4 things I got to work out here. You know, I'll give you an example. You know, I don't pay any withdrawal fees here. None. I don't pay a dime. Yesterday, I go to the ATM, Siam Commercial Bank. I want to take out a couple $100 baht. So I have a little bit of spending cash. That's what this money was. I took out 200 baht. I put my card in. Doesn't work. It says, sorry, this is a chip card. I go, son of a bitch. Go to the ATM next to it. Sorry, this is a chip card. You can't take any money out. I go, God damn it. No, I was putting money in. I was putting some money in, but I also wanted to take some money out. But I want to make a deposit. And I didn't have the correct change. So I go into the bank, I get a card. First time I've been in a bank in like years. I go in, I tell the lady, I say, listen, I got this chip card. Now, they already sent me a message that for some reason, they're changing their cards in February. and you can't continue to use them. You have to go in and get a new card. Okay, fine. I'll go in and get a new card. I said to her, this is a chip card. I can't make a deposit. What's going on? Can I make a deposit here? And she goes, 1 second. She gets a pencil. She gets her eraser. She erases on the chip. Cleans it off. Try it now. I go outside, boom. Put my money in. Easy as pie. Yeah. Where you do get charged some fees is when you are in a different province. Some of the banks will charge you a fee. They'll charge you an interprovincial withdrawal fee or something like that. And Bangkok Bank does do that when it comes to their bank account. So if you're in Pattaya and you make a deposit in Bangkok and you need to take that money out, let's see how it works. Yeah, you're taking a withdrawal with the ATM, they're going to charge you an interprovincial fee. Well, Krung Street, which is upstairs, well, it used to be right upstairs on the second floor, but now it's, they have it up on the, I think it's the 4th floor. When you go there, they'll give you like a coupon for a free soda or a free sandwich or something like that. And it'll say, do you want this? So if you want it, you say yes, and then it gives you the coupon. It gives you an ATM slip, and then you get the other slip, which is the coupon slip. And I never use them. I don't eat at 7-Eleven. I don't eat at Circle K. I only eat at those places in times of dire need. If I haven't eaten anything and I'm starving, you know, a Thai vlogger mentioned that if you go inside a bank and use the terminal at a teller window, you won't be charged withdrawal fees. Well, you won't be charged withdrawal fees if you take out from the ATM too. Why would you be? Now, some of the banks will charge you like 20 baht if you take out an ATM withdrawal from a different bank. Some of them will charge you that. I don't know why. But Bangkok Bank is not one of those. And neither is Siam Commercial. What's the other one that I use? I think Thai Military Bank charges like 10 or 20 baht. And CASHAPP doesn't charge. Thank you very much, Jack. Thanks a lot. Appreciate it. It's like $6 to withdraw. Well, actually, it's 220 baht. It's 220 baht to make a withdrawal, an international withdrawal. Now, if you have a bank or banks like I do that don't charge, well, Capital One charges. Capital One doesn't charge an international fee, however, the Thai fee gets assessed to Capital One, and you pay it. Truist does not charge an international fee, and you do not, what you do is you get a refund the next day of the Thai fee. So you don't pay anything. I went to a Walmart bank once in my life to change $10 in quarters for a hotel coin-operated laundry room. The bank said, "Cannot, you're not a member." Oh God, I hate that. I hate that because it's so hard to get change sometimes. You know, if you're gonna turn in like quarters, they want you to write your address, they want you to write this, they want you to write that. I'm like, what the it's not worth it. It's too much of a hassle most of the time. I'll spend it myself. Don't worry about it. I don't need to turn in rolls to you. Where are the papers? You have the papers? No papers? No business. That's how it works. Now, these are the kind of things that you know, before you come over here, it's good to know these things. And that's why you have your cultural attaché named Mr. Mallon. You know, you have the local knowledge. You know, and you got guys in the chat here. Everybody knows. We know what the deal is. A lot of us know. And sometimes, you know, there's things I don't know, and you know, because I don't have to deal with it, and I don't really care about it. And then all of a sudden, I need to use something, and I go, oh, it's going to cost me money this way. Oh no, if you do it that way, it won't cost you any money. You know? Yeah, Gennaro, you too much, man. Too much. I'm thinking about going and getting a what do you call it? Pork cutlet today at the what's the name of the place? I don't remember. Aso something. It's a new Japanese joint that opened up. Not only do they have the 40 or so stores here, like your little shop houses. Oh, Jesus. But they also have numerous others. And I mean, again, I'm going to say this. I hate to say this, but I'm sitting here in Pacamara, Coffee Roasters. Next, 2 doors down is Cafe Amazon. All the way down is Starbucks. Over here is CPS. Upstairs is, I don't even know how many coffee shops there are here. There's 2 or 3 coffee shops, at least right in this little, there's a coffee shop right over here. So that's 5 coffee shops, like, in a small area. Then you got Twin Place or something like that. It's upstairs. And you got them all over. But there's got to be 20 coffee shops, 25 coffee shops in the mall right now. Gennaro owes me a Therme cappuccino. Oof. Oh, Jesus Christ. They both suck. And they're both average, that's about it. Starbucks is a little better. But they both are not very good. They're not great. They're just, you know, it's average coffee. That's all it is. This place has good coffee. I will say that. This place has really good coffee. Every coffee I've ever had here has always been good. It's not great, but it's very good. I go to Sarni's. They got good coffee. I go to, what was the name of that other place I went to? It was good coffee. Can't remember the name of it. And then there's a few of them out there, but just traditional Thai coffee shops. They don't have any of these foo-foo drinks. You don't have the frappuccinos and this and that. You know. I'd rather have the money. Oh God, everyday coffee was like, honestly, Dowlo, that was bottom of the barrel coffee. I mean, really, it was not very good. It was like mud. Oh, God. I mean, what do you want 10,000 baht on Starbucks for? So you can just piss away the money. I'd rather have the money. Bo likes to get, what is it called? Taster's Choice Gold or something like that. She drinks instant coffee. Once in a while, she'll have me make her a coffee from the Roke. And when I use the Roke, I tend to use good coffee. Most of the time. I use good coffee. You know, I've gotten to the point now where I'm like, I really don't want to drink coffee unless it's good. Nong kap. Tini go cafe อร่อยไหม
อะไรนะคะ
Cafe go อร่อยไหม แน่นอนนะ I said, is the coffee here good? She says, yes. I said, all the coffee? Yes, it is. It's very good here. It's very, very good. I grew up on Taster's Choice. We were almost, or we were poor. The Roque is that the French press. It's the, you push down. I would have taken the mall credit, honestly. Yeah, don't insult the Roque. The Roque is a good machine. The only thing about the Roque is that, I mean, you can make an Americano with the Roque and it's quite good. If you want to make yourself a really good espresso, you need to make sure you preheat the thing. This is what I've learned over the years. You really need to preheat everything. So you get your cup, you pour some water in the bowl, and you have an empty basket. Put the water through. That way it heats it up. Then you get another water. Get the cup nice and hot. Pour that out. Then you get the other cup and you pour it in the basket you pour it in the tank, the water tank, which is only enough for I don't know how many ounces, 3 ounces or something. And then when you put the coffee in, and you have the hot cup, the cup is already hot. Where the coffee goes through is already hot. You what do you call it? Infuse. I think that's what the word is. You let the water go down in the coffee. You let it sit there for about 25 seconds, and then whoosh, put it down. And if the beans are fresh, the grind is right, then you get a nice creme on it. It's really nice. It makes good coffee. If the coffee's a little older, you might not get the creme that you want, but generally the coffee's pretty good. Is Grinders an app for coffee lovers? Grinders, is it an app for coffee lovers? No idea. I've owned a French press, cheap one, they work fine. Yeah, I've got a couple different kinds of coffee makers, and I still like the Roque the best. Yeah, at some point I'll get a really nice grinder and I'll get a really nice coffee machine, but not yet. There's my buddy, my friend, my little British friend Ian. I don't know where he is or where he's going or whatever. You going to Starbucks? He's always over there. What is this? I've owned a French press, the cheap one. Okay, Dallo, ha ha ha. Barco, Rocky mistake. Rookie mistake. Yes, Dallo, swipe right. I don't know what's going on today, but the internet connection is not so good. What I'll say about Preo and her French press, there's something about Preo I cannot pinpoint. I don't know what it is. How do I say this at the risk of sounding a bit harsh? I like her, but I don't know that I like her enough to really like her, if you know what I mean. She's a nice girl, but that's where it stops. Will you auto deposit your Social Security into your Wise? Of course. Should you swipe front to, oh God. Let Parco smear it all around. I don't care how he does it. It makes no difference to me. None at all. Jesus Christ. Let me hit the love button. There you go, right there. Lots of love coming from me. All right, listen. We're at 2 hours already. do me a favor, once again, smash the like button. Smash the like button, subscribe, join. Check the description down below. Show the love. Watch. Do whatever you want to do. It's fine with me. Appreciate everybody watching. Appreciate everybody joining in today. Been a nice, relaxing morning. And do I need to go to the grocery today? I don't know. Maybe. I got some Gorgonzola cheese yesterday. Oh my God. Fantastic. I think you're worrying about shit you don't need to worry about right now. Honestly. You're worried about putting your Social Security into an account over here. It's got to go through the United States, through the exchange. And why do you want to do that anyway? You're not paying tax on Social Security. If you do, you're paying on it at the end of the year. Or you're paying on it because of Medicare. But why would you transfer it into a Thai bank account? It makes no sense to me. I don't know. I don't know where you're, coming up with these things, but you need to just like take your sweet time. That's one of the things I've learned here. Just relax. You think you got to act? Just take a step back and go, wait a minute, do I need to do this? Is this how it is? They say, oh, we're going to change this. Just relax. Relax and take a step back. And then watch. Oh, nothing's happening. I'm not going to do anything. Gallo is so patronizing. Today's stream, especially the moderators. Well, thank you very much, Mr. Dowlow. I appreciate that. Cheers to you. Appreciate it. Yeah, take your time. All right. I don't know what I'm going to do. If I'm going to stream on Sunday, if I'm going to go somewhere and stream, if I'm going to not stream. I have no idea, and that's part of the problem with the channel, is I never know what I'm going to do. But that's the way it goes. I don't know if there's a UFC fight this weekend. I don't know what's going on this weekend. I don't know what I'm doing. Oh yeah, time for a walkabout. Yeah, okay. I'm not even gonna say a word. Oh yeah, everybody wants me to do walkabouts. Oh yeah. Yeah. Well, I'm glad everybody wants me to go out and do all the work for them. So you can live vicariously through me. I will go out at some point, but I just don't know where and when. That's how it works. I don't know where, when, how, why. I don't know. Remember, I used to do the 4 or 5 hour walkabouts. And those are long gone, those are history. It's not gonna happen. Kun Parko, you have to pay money for that. Now that's up to you. I'm interested in your cross-country walk. I would like to see an episode talking about your new route. It's not that big of a deal, really. The reason it was a big deal the last time is because I got lost. This time it wouldn't be that big of a deal because now I have Google Maps. And I've thought about it, and boom, there's Jim. And I talked to Jim about it. I was going to do it. And my wife made the very astute observation that here I am griping about her working all the time and not being around, and then when she's around, I gotta leave. So I thought maybe I'll give her a week. Maybe next week I'll go do it. I don't know. I'm not sure. Wow. That's what, $1.94? Yum. Beats a kick in the ass, I'll tell you that. Anyway, gentlemen, and I use that word extremely lightly. ladies and germs. That's a little more on the spot. Ladies and germs. Is this place open? Oh, this place is open now. Yeah, I don't know what I was thinking. It's after 11 now. It's coming together, though. This place is coming together. And the only thing I really care about is that they finished the walkway at the other end, the Starbucks end. They finished the walkway so that you can walk directly from the SkyTrain into the mall. Now there's this, when you walk from the BTS, you have to walk down the stairs and then you go in the mall. I'd like to just walk in the mall. Then they're building a platform to be able to do that. So there you go. All right. Thank you very much, everybody. It's been fun. It's been real. Parkas in 60s? Jesus Christ. I'm in a pair of fucking shorts in the 40s. Seriously. When I went to Yekaterinburg, Russia, rather. It was minus 9 degrees. And I was going out from the lobby, standing right in front of the door in a pair of shorts and flip-flops. And I would stand out there for about 30 minutes just talking to guys. Me and a couple guys would stand there and talk. No parkas for me. Hope that walkway has at least a 7-foot clearance. Yes, it seems to be enough room. I think you'll be able to swing it there, big boy. Listen, they want to wear their mask, they can wear their mask. I think it's kind of stupid, but you know, whatever. You want to wear your mask, wear your mask. Anyway, I gotta go. Yeah, well, you know, they wear the mask when there's no air pollution. They wear the mask when there is air pollution. They wear the mask when there's COVID. When there's no COVID, it's like, you know, before the COVID, not many people wore a mask. Now I see people with masks on all the time. Although I will say, I mean, here's a guy, he's a Grab driver. Is that what he is? No, he's a driver he's some like courier. I couldn't hit it in time. He's a courier. He's got a mask on. Here's a lady that walked by. She got a mask on. Here comes the Grab guy with a. God damn it! Well, I don't know what it's doing. It's not letting me reverse the camera. He's got a mask on. You're riding out there on a motorcycle with no helmet. You got a mask on. Makes no sense to me. Anyway, choke D, jerk that my. Good luck. See you later. Yada yada yada. Okay, kai. I'll talk to you guys when I talk to you. Alrighty? Hasta la vista, baby.